Hello BCSD third graders, it's Mrs. Whitman here with the May 15th math task. You'll notice that it says Mayo at the top, and that is Spanish for May. All right, let's get started. Lisa put 50 paper pins in her pin box. The box has 5 rows. If each row has the same number of paper pins, how many pins did Lisa put on each row? Okay, in my May 14th video, I think I talked about how the word rows reminds me of arrays. And arrays generally means multiplication, but it can also indicate division. So what we've got to do here is, since our box has, or Lisa's box has 5 rows, we're going to set up an array that has 5 rows in it. So let me just do open circles so that it's a little bit easier for me to draw, quicker I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I know that it looks like I just made a column of 5, but what I'm doing is I'm setting up 5 rows, right? Because rows go side to side. And in my classroom, to remind us that rows go side to side, we sing, row, row, row your boat. And that's to remind us that you row a boat, right, going side to side, right? You pull the oars up or not up, I guess, forward and backward in front of you, right beside you. You don't row the boat up and down because then your oars wouldn't even be in the water. So we just set up our 5 rows going side to side, okay? So I'll get rid of those lines there so that I can make my rows now. And since it says that Lisa put 50 paper pins in her pin box, what I'm going to do is continue making those columns of 5 rows, and I'm going to keep counting until I get to 50. And then that will tell me how many pins Lisa put in each row. Okay, so I've got 5 already, so I'm going to keep counting on. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50. Okay, it looks like we got the same number of circles in each row, and my rows are nice and straight. I always like to just double check. And then also I like to double check that I made enough columns as well. So let's just check those. Columns are nice and straight as well. So now what I need to do is see how many columns I made, and that will tell me how many pins Lisa put in each row. Okay, so let's count those out. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that makes a lot of sense to me, actually, because I can think of this whole math problem as 5 times something equals 50. And I know from my math fact practice that if I put a 10 there, that makes the equation true. 5 times 10 equals 50. So that makes a lot of sense to me that there are 10 columns because it matches the math fact. Okay, so that solves number 1. Let's move on to number 2. Edward has 5 boxes of pins. Each box had 15 pins in it. How many pins did Edward have in total? Okay, so since we're talking about the same number of pins, let's see, each box had 15 pins in it. Okay, all the boxes have 15 pins. This is indicating multiplication. And Edward had 5 boxes of pins. So what we're going to do is we can take any of our multiplication strategies, and we're basically figuring out the answer to 15 times 5 because 15 pins, 5 boxes of pins, 15 pins in each box. So we've got to figure out what that equals, and that will give us our answer. So you can do equal groups, you can do repeated addition, you can do multiplication on the number line, you can do skip counting, whatever you feel like. I think what I'll do right now is repeated addition because it's been a while since I've modeled that strategy. So I'm going to do 15 plus 15. Okay, that gives me 30. Okay, and I'm going to keep going until I've done that 5 times. So now I'm going to do 30 plus 15. That's 45. And I'm going to write how many times I've added this. So there's 1, 2. Okay, let's keep going. Now 45 plus 15 is 60. So that's a third time. 60 plus 15 is 75. Okay, so that's the third time, the fourth time, so I need one more time here. 75 plus 15. Oops, okay, and that is 90. So the answer to 15 times 5 is, let me just get rid of that question mark, 90. So that means that Edward had 90 pins in total. All right, and if we look ahead to the procedural practice page, you'll see that it talks about the commutative property of multiplication. It's actually a big fancy word for it doesn't matter what position you have the factors in your multiplication sentence, the answer is going to still be the same. For example, if I do 1 times 5, the answer is 5. But if I do 5 times 1, the answer is also 5. It doesn't matter if the 1 is over here or the 1 is over there. You can switch places and the answer remains the same. So all you have to do is keep that in mind and fill in the blank. So number 3, for example, they've already shown me that 3 times 2 equals 6. So I just need to see what's missing. The 2 is missing. So to make this equation true, I just fill that in, and that's it. So it's pretty self-explanatory. All right, boys and girls, that'll be it for today. I will see you next week with more math task explanations. Have a great weekend.